why this is a conversation right now is 100% my fault, and I own that. Because I fucking fell for some bait in a fucking thing. But I'm sorry, it's hard when every single day you're getting told you scammed one of your best homies, and it's fucking, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
We went on a secret, don't tell anybody I said this, but we figured out how to just scheme so much money out of Hollywood and the internet. Like, we're just running with it.
Imagine you're a player on CSGO Wild, and all of your favorite YouTubers are playing on a site. Then you start gambling as well, and you lost all your money. What if I told you all those items you lost on that site was rigged from the very beginning? In 2015, all over the Counter-Strike scene, a new way to make extra money was introduced. Gambling had finally made it to the Counter-Strike, and they introduced coin flips, roulette, and at this time there was no regulations, no terms on streaming, no terms on recording. This type of content was available to the whole wide web. It was absolutely a free market, so the influencers had a great idea, the absolute gold rush of their time. In mid-2016, popular YouTuber Team Martin and Syndicate were advertising websites like CSGO Lotto. They would play on the site and act like everything they did was legitimate, but at the time they were playing on a site they owned, which sparked lots of controversies. Another gambling site at the time was actually found to have an alleged rigged Probably Fair system, and most modern gambling websites still run on Probably Fair systems. To understand what happened, you need to know how online gambling randomness works. Every gambling game, whether it's a coin flip, a roulette spin, a card shuffle, a dice roll, needs a random outcome. In online, that randomness comes from a random number generator, RNG. But RNGs don't just spit out numbers from nowhere. They need a starting point called a seed. Think of a seed like the x in a math equation. If x equals 3, then y equals 4. If you use the same x, you'll always get the same y. That's the problem. If one person controls the seed, they can predict or even force the outcome. For example, in a simple coin flip system, we could say even number heads, odd number tails. If I can control the seed, I can just test numbers until I find which one makes me win. Then I claim, oh, it was random, but in reality, I cheated. So how do you make it fair? The solution is to make the seed come from both sides, not just one. You yourself would pick a secret number, your seed. The server picks a secret number, its seed. The seeds are combined, so neither side knows the final result ahead of time. To stop repeats and prevent either side from manipulating things, a one-time number is added. This is usually chosen by the player or automatically incremented, making each result unique. In a proper Probably Fair system, the server commits to its seed beforehand by giving you a hash of it. A scrambled version that can't be reversed. After the bet, the server reveals a seed, so you can check the math and confirm nothing was changed. When CSGO Diamond operated, insiders had access to the seeds and could see future outcomes before bets were placed. This meant they could play only when they knew they'd win, breaking the fairness of the system entirely. The players thought they were gambling in a fair random game, but in reality the house and possibly certain streamers already knew the results before the coin was even flipped. So what happened? Well, the FTC had gotten in contact with Syndicate and Team Martin, and they found some of their video tiles very interesting. This also got some eyes on Valve as well, and the Washington State Gambling Commission. They demanded that Valve stop allowing the transfer of Counter-Strike weapons and gambling activities, and they gave the company until October 14th, 2016 to comply, or they would face legal consequences. Valve insisted that there was no business relationship with any of these gambling sites, and all of these gambling sites violated Steam Terms of Service clause. Valve then began issuing cease and desist letters to over 20 websites in July of 2016. One of those websites was CSGO Wild. During this time, FaZe and other FaZe members like FaZe Rain disregarded and claimed they had no ownership stake in CSGO Wild. But later on in May 10th of 2020, Banks would show up on a podcast called Bad News. I'll play the clip.
Alright, so we create this website, and through our rake and all this shit, we were making like $200,000 a day. And we set it up in Antigua. We set it up in Antigua. I had a house in Antigua for like...
Where's that?
For like Antigua like in the Caribbean.
Island, yeah.
If you scour the public internet, you'll find many forums talking about the shady practices on CSGO Wild. One of the websites said, CSGO Wild is a skin gambling website that many users have reported as a scam. The site has a reputation of refusing to pay out winnings, banning users without warning, and having an unreliable history. Additionally, the site often runs unethical promotions. This includes giving out free skins to invite friends to the site. This is against their terms and conditions and illegal in many jurisdictions. Gamblers have also reported that their withdrawal requests are constantly pending review. This often leads to the CSGO Wild withholding users' withdrawals for weeks without updates. Also, a post on a Steam forum back in January 12, 2016 at 6:15 p.m. CSGO Wild stole my skins. I deposited an AK-47 Redline into CSGO Wild and I was not awarded skins. Before this, I withdrew a Cyrex and a frontside Misty, and they never gave them to me. If anyone knows how anyone affiliated with CSGO Wild, can you get me in contact? My support ticket from a week ago has not been responded to. Someone replied, don't log into strange pages. Your support ticket will get a simple answer, not our problem. You can see how CSGO Wild was a huge problem back then, and even as a present day, FaceBank is still around controversy. He created a shitcoin recently called MLG, which is a shitcoin, which Aiden Ross promoted with him, and the market cap went from $3 million to $200 million, then plummeted and has leading accusations of a rug pull. As of today, FaceBanks has left FaZe Clan and is still around, still walking in the general public without any reprimand. And as for Valve's lawsuits, they were later dismissed. And to this day, gambling still happens on Counter-Strike. What do you think of the controversy? Let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget, we're running a Bowie Knife Tiger Tooth giveaway. All you have to do is like, sub, and join our Discord. As always, see you in the graveyard. Peace.